to me then, I bet they feel me now. Time don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money, talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm a goner. Been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million base.
You hear a lot of people say this, and I totally agree with it. They say, fail fast, and it's so true. But it also ties into the procrastination conversation. What is procrastination? Procrastination is nothing more than the delay of the gifts that God is ready to present us with. And we're saying, no, we're not ready for those. How about tomorrow? Because when you're on your path, you're doing what you need to do, you tend to be in alignment, and the gifts come abundantly. So that's why sometimes we say, hey, fail fast, because if you started the project last Monday, you would have found out that the piece that is missing takes a week to come in the mail, and now your whole project's been pushed back a week, you can't even start. But if you started on Monday, you knew, oh, I'm missing this piece, so it'll be here next Monday, and now you can begin working on your project. Fail fast ties into procrastination very quickly. Also, you have a lot of people that are afraid to fail. They're afraid to make mistakes. But you have to make mistakes. You have to fail. That's the only way you learn. That's the only way you gain experience. So I want people to fail. I want people to mess up. Don't be afraid of messing up. A lot of people want perfection straight out the gate. You know, you start a podcast or a show, and the first one, they want it to be perfect straight out the gate. That's not possible. Just go. Done is better than perfect. Fail fast. What up, ladies and gentlemen? We back. You know who I am.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
We got Uncle Hotep. We got Canon Hotep here for some live State of the Union address coverage from our beloved, wonderful, and cherished President Joe Biden. Yo, y'all could be anywhere in the world. Y'all could be on any stream, but y'all here with us. I just want to say shout out to y'all. Shout out to the chat. We got 100 tuned in already for the SOTU grift. I appreciate y'all, man. Really do, man. As you can see, Biden doesn't start till 9, so we got a couple of topics we're going to talk about before we get into tonight's presentation. We're going to talk about ChatGPT, the Chinese balloon, election race 24, turkey quake. Chat, what y'all want us to talk about first? ChatGPT, Chinese balloon, election race 24, turkey quake, and what else y'all want us to talk about? We talk about whatever y'all want to talk about until Biden get his ass out here. Oh, Cannon, what's up, man? How you feeling, y'all?
Nothing, chilling, sitting here with a broken foot again.
A broken foot?
Yeah, it's my fault, though, because I didn't allow myself to heal like I should have the last time. That's all me.
What, you put your foot in somebody's ass?
Man, it's they said it was a repetitive stress fracture. So I'm nimble for a big boy, but the force it takes for me to generate, to leap and land and all that other stuff just over time take a toll.
Damn.
So my fat ass just got to lose some weight.
He literally broke his foot off in somebody's ass, y'all. I ain't beat. Shout out to Hotep with it. Hotep with it in the chat. In case you didn't know, Hotep with his head of content over at Hotep Nation. We appreciate him and all his work and all his effort. Oh, how you feeling, man?
I'm all right. What's good with you?
Life is good, man. Life is good.
Being racist against Chinese. Let's get. Well, hold on. We're gonna talk about Turkey in a minute. I see.
Here go Uncle Hotep, Uncle Chang.
Fucking no, man. See, I'm tired of it. I'm from the streets. We watch Kung Fu. When you from the streets, you watch Kung Fu theater when you was growing up. I don't know what HJ was fucking doing. You know, that island nigga shit, playing with jerk chicken and all that other shit. We watched Kung Fu Theater every weekend. You know what I mean? So do y'all come out here and say Xi Jinping's balloons and all this other shit, man? You're selling out. Selling out. The Chinaman is helping out Africa. He's helping out build infrastructure in Africa. And here you go taking the white man's back, saying the evil that China, dare you? How dare you?
China.
Absolutely terrible. Trump will be disappointed in you. Hey, chat, hashtag cancel Uncle Hotep, hashtag cancel Uncle Chang. Can't believe this fool.
Would you? Oh well, you know how? Hold on, Cannon. Remember? What did France do a couple years back? And people was like, "We're going to cancel French fries. We're going to make them freedom." Remember freedom fries? Remember
I remember freedom fries. You talking about when they made the run on the banks?
What was that?
The yellow vest?
No, it was something. It was something that they did with America or some shit like that. America said, "Oh, we're gonna get some freedom fries. We're not gonna
freedom fries." Yeah, I remember that.
Y'all gonna stop eating General So's? It's gonna be General Lee's and shit. You know,
General Patton. Y'all get some of that General Patton's chicken?
It's gonna be General Patton's chicken, General So's. Is that what y'all gonna do now? Get the hell out of here with this.
First of all, I don't eat Chinese food.
No. See, you was not a real nigga, man. I mean, that's been established, man. I mean, that's not a surprise. You know what I mean? But real niggas eat General So's, man. Come on, man. Shit.
That shit ain't even chicken. It's cat.
See, there he goes, man. There he goes, man. See?
That's some good ass cat.
That's how innovative. You know what I mean? You can make a cat taste that good, man. Shit.
See, I'm from the hood. We had yakami.
Who?
Well, we called it yakami, but I guess it was called Yat Got May. I guess that's how you pronounce it. We just call it yakami. It was $4. $4 at the Chinese store. Chinese food carry out. That's what we ate.
Slavery's
a hard-boiled egg in it.
Slavery's over, man.
You never went to the you never went to the Chinese corner store and got some fried chicken, got some chicken wings. You
the only thing I went to the Chinese food store for was roll up, some Lucy's, and a sweet tea. That's what I went to the Chinese man for. My blunts and my sweet tea.
Around here, they be like, let me get 5 wings fried hard. That's all you hear. Fried hard.
Yes.
I have done some of them hairy ass wings before with hot sauce.
It was the best chicken wings you ever had one day.
Lies. Pure lies. The best wings I ever had was in Newark, New Jersey. I think it's right on Broad. It take about an hour to get your wings. But them shits is popping.
Who on it?
Huh?
Arabs?
No, niggas.
Wow.
Sean.
That's gonna take an hour to get your wings.
Where'd Jabari?
Ask Jabari. Where'd Jabari?
I need verification. What is he talking about?
Jabari, what's the name of the spot? I want to say is Broad. Before you get downtown Newark, he got the chess set outside. He got 2 chessboards set up outside. It's a old black dude, kind of heavy set, and he got another brother that be helping him out. I forget the name of that spot, man. But he does wings. It's a soul food spot, but the wings is fire. The wings is, I could definitely attest to the wings. It's a brother though, older head. And you go there and, you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even take the calls over the phone. He tell you, yo, you got to come down here because it just be so busy.
See, that's the thing, right? And it's sad because like we had like this one spot here in Baltimore called Tyrone's Chicken. Best chicken in the city. But for some reason, Black folks don't know how to do their paperwork or something because they went under in like 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Also, when New York Fried Chicken hit the spot in Baltimore, they stopped patronizing Tyrone's Chicken. They went and got the Arab chicken. New York Fried Chicken put Tyrone's Chicken out. You know what I mean? That's the only place I know you can get 100 wings for like $50.
Is Kennedy's Fried Chicken still in the hood, man?
Yeah.
They had a couple of them down here.
Yeah, they got Kennedy's in the hood. What's the name of that soul food spot?
Now we got this spot called Hip Hop. Hip Hop Chicken in Baltimore been popping up like blockbusters, yo. You don't even see it. They just there. It's called hip hop fried chicken. It's the most racist shit you ever heard in your life. Hip hop fried chicken. That's what they call it.
I've heard of that.
Zoo, man. I'm pretty sure that's the spot I went there when I went to the zoo, man. I was.
If you went to the zoo and you went to hip hop chicken, I mean it was across the street from Drew Hill Park. I know exactly where you went. I know exactly where you went. But they popping up all over the place in Maryland. But they popping up like cricket stores, yo.
I remember that. Cause I was like, "What hip hop?" I was like, "It's got like a mural of some hip hop shit on the top." You got the things and everything, but I mean, it wasn't the best. It wasn't terrible either, from what I remember. It was kind of greasy though. It was a lot of grease on there.
You can't tell the shines nothing, yo. Hip hop chicken is packed 24/7, 365.
I mean, there was people coming in and out that joint, man. That's why we stopped.
Next thing you know, like Christmas or Thanksgiving, they pack. Ain't nobody cooking. They going to hip hop. They going to hip hop to get they catfish nuggets and they fried chicken or fried whiting.
I found the name of the spot. It's called Soul Food Chess House. Little ghetto, but the food is slamming. You get your smothered wings combo, smothered turkey wings, oxtail, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, candy yams, fish and shrimp combo, catfish. Yeah, this is official right here. Collard greens.
That's what Steph Colonel said.
Got two old niggas
Soul
playing
Food
chess
House?
outside.
Yeah, that's the spot. Steph Colonel. See, Steph Colonel, no, he official.
Got two old niggas playing chess outside like on Fresh.
Yeah. I went down there. I had to, show them how Hoteps do. You know what I'm saying? We really do this chess thing. But yeah, what's name? Man, yeah, Soul Food Chess House. That's it, Jabari. Jabari, what's the name of y'all restaurant? Because we got to show love to Jabari's restaurant. They took real good care of me. I'm bad at names. I can never remember names. I don't care how much master focus I take. Names just, I got to like write them in the air to remember them and shit. And I still be forgetting people's names. It's kids on my soccer team whose parents I just be calling, I save them as the kids' names, dad and shit. I can't remember the dad name and shit.
You see how many people died in Turkey?
You said what?
These people died in Turkey, man. It's a lot. This earthquake is crazy.
Oh, yesterday was 2,300, right? I know that the toll had to went up.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't know, man. I know Syria, they said 1,700. And February 7th, I'm looking at, man, he said 4,500. That was from earlier today or something like that.
Damn.
I was in the gym. They pulled a little baby out, the rebel. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That shit must have hit hard, man.
7.3. 7.3 on the Richter scale.
Damn. That's sad, man. Yo, pray for Turkey, man. Pray for Turkey. I don't know. Tinfoil Kufi tape. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the weather machine trying to distract from the fact that the Krang is getting their ass whooped.
And not to mention, word on the street is that Turkey was talking about walking away from NATO.
Oh, damn. Oh, no.
That's word on the street.
Oh, my God. And they said you might want to rethink that after we hit this weather button.
Yep, and even like when I was looking through Twitter and stuff, it was language I didn't even understand that still had a picture of the antenna array that sit between Alaska and the man from Moscow, saying, something don't seem right. The sky didn't look right just before it hit. He said the sky didn't look right just before it hit.
I've seen that picture. Was that? I mean, I hate how nowadays you got to like triple fact check everything.
Right.
I mean, that wasn't like, but I seen it. They said it looked like the cloud looked like a vagina or some shit like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that was real.
Well, I remember there's a couple of times where people show when that project's active, you can see like some waves going through the sky.
Mm-hmm.
almost look like sound waves a little bit.
They hit him with a coochie cloud.
Not to mention, it like they said that I forgot what gigahertz that thing operate at, where they can send that signal into the ground.
Yeah,
and cause that stuff. They say that's what caused that tsunami in Japan too.
Haiti as well.
Yeah, Haiti. It's two of them actually. Like people don't know that. They think it's just the one in Alaska. There's two. They got two of them.
Yo, fast shout to the Rumblers. We live on Rumble right now. In case y'all haven't heard, Hoteps have formed like Voltron on Rumble. It's Hotep TV on Rumble. Cannon, Unc, and myself will all be streaming on the same channel on Rumble. That's Hotep TV. So you can unsubscribe from my Rumble account and go to Hotep TV and subscribe over there, or just subscribe to Hotep TV, however you want to do it. But I won't be back on the other channel. We doing everything to Hotep TV. We try to take over Rumble. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody tuning in right now on Rumble. We appreciate you. We got 32 watching over on Rumble. That's love. And, doing it this way, at some point, we're going to have thousands of people watching, man. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
The cross-pollination is really going to be effective.
Especially since the simple fact that Rumble, they actually put your notification out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. Instead of miss with YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's so dirty, man. Like I get subscribed people on Twitch. I look at my goddamn Gmail, Twitch, such and such going live, such and such going live. I'm like, see how simple it is? It's that simple.
Right.
YouTube knows that. Well, I mean, I never got an email, man. I've heard that for years, man. I heard that for damn near a decade. I haven't got no notification from you, man.
Did they hit you with the extortion? Like, hey, you gotta agree to these terms of service, or we going to nix your channel?
New terms of service, I think.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
They said you got to like April or something like that, or May.
Yeah, I think I signed that.
What's funny is my chess channel notifications go out like clockwork. My channel, crickets.
Yeah, same here. Matter of fact, I just started my gaming channel. It's called the Nerd Out. I mean, shout out to Emmanuel Presley who gave me the idea for the name. It's called the Nerd Out. So but we get so serious on our channels and stuff. Need like a getaway, you know what I mean? So we're gonna talk everything. We're just gonna geek out on that channel. Matter of fact, hey, Hotep with it. I gotta get with you, yo, because we gotta do a Last of Us recap, yo. So I know he watching that show. Did you watch it?
No, I watched.
No, I ain't watching it yet. What's it on?
It's on HBO Max.
Oh, we don't got that.
It's based on a video game. It's about it's crazy.
Yeah, I played the video game.
Yeah, so it's based on like this fungus that taking over people's bodies and all stuff, like zombie stuff. But it's a good show. Episode 3 was a little Brokeback Mountain-ish, like we was telling. Like
boy,
yeah, they had to get one of them in. It was hardcore Brokeback Mountain-ish. Like we were saying, like they trying to get an Emmy on this one with that episode. But it's a good show. But we're gonna talk about comic books. We're gonna game over there. We might even do like some movie nights or something like that.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. What's the URL on that? Nerd Out? YouTube.com/Nerd Out? Yeah,
YouTube.com/The Nerd Out. DANERDOUT.
I gotta add that to my channel.
Yeah. So
people could just get there from my channel. What do y'all think about this Chat GPT, man?
Bruh, it's I was fucking with it like for like the past couple of days just to check it out. It's woke, bro. It'll give you answers. So like for example, right? I'm just messing around just now asking, what was Joe Biden likely to talk about tonight? And it said, as a language model, I don't have the ability to predict future events. However, traditionally, the State of the Union address is an opportunity for the President of the United States to present their legislative agenda and outline their vision for the country. President Biden is likely to discuss his plans for addressing the ongoing Cove base pandemonium, economic recovery, issues related to infrastructure, healthcare, education, and social justice, as well as foreign policy and national security. So it gave me like the basic rundown of what all the State of the Unions usually are. So then I asked what was his accomplishments for 2022. It said it can only go back to 2021, but a lot of the stuff that it gave was like shit that Trump did already. So responding to the code base, implemented a national strategy for distributing the vacation. That was a Trump thing. He just came in and took that, right? Good, bad, or indifferent, right? It also said he proposed major infrastructure plans, the American Job Plan aimed at modernizing roads, bridges, and public transportation systems, as well as investing in broadband and clean energy. Now, that's up for debate what clean energy is. Some people say nuclear energy, which, Donnie T was all for, is clean energy. They try and go with their Green New Deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking of that, did you see? So there was this thing I was watching. So they got what's it called? Carbon credits.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with that?
Yeah. Well, it's like carbon tax.
So like so if you go to like I don't know, a steakhouse and you buy a steak, it's going to have your price and the amount of carbon emissions the steak is, I guess, projected to put out or whatever. You get a certain amount of carbon credits a year or something like that. And if you go over your carbon credits per year, you got to pay in a tax. Bruh. I got to look into that more, but that shit sounds crazy.
Yo, Karl Marx would have loved this time period.
That sounds like some Black Mirror shit.
Sound like some straight up commie shit. That's what that shit sound like.
I said, what? So they're going to have people eating bug burgers and drinking piss. That's what's going to happen. And then they said he's going to, so Biden signed several executive orders aimed at combating climate change, including re-entering the Paris Agreement, which was crazy, which was one of the first actions as president. You know that he got Tyree Nichols' parents at the State of the Union too. They supposed to be there.
Who?
The kid that got killed by the police.
Oh, Tyree Nichols?
Yeah, he gonna tout his parents out.
Oh, they gonna grift off of him?
Yeah, they gonna grift off him all day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. They had announced that a week ago that his parents gonna be there.
HJ said if a white man can kill you, you ain't gonna know your name. They still grifting off Tyree Nichols, man. What you talking about? See, there you go. There you go.
That's proving my point.
No, man, they're still rolling his name out. He's still remembered, man.
Oh, you talking about Tyree Nichols? He got killed by the
5 black cops.
The 5 black cops. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he just gonna be a short-term grift.
You know he's gonna tout him out tonight.
He getting a statue. Tyree Nichols ain't getting a statue in Memphis.
He ain't getting no statue though.
He's getting. Matter of fact, ho. Chat, I got both of them. I'm getting 2 for 1 tonight. Tony Hawk said he's building a skateboard cart for Tyree Nichols. His name will exist forever.
The state ain't gonna do it. Tony Hawk gonna do that with his own money. The state ain't about to put no statue up for him.
The state put him up to the lake. Tony, man, why don't you do something for Tyree? Tony's the skate park. Might be like the skateboard. It's gonna be a Negro skateboard park event named after Tyree Nichols.
Niggas gonna be in there with dirt bikes, 4-wheelers.
They call them trucks. What African on skateboard tricks and shit like that.
The trucks is the parts that the wheels connect to.
Yeah.
You got pop shove it's 360s, kick flips. What's the other one? The kick flip 360.
They gonna put it in Memphis? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know where they're gonna put it. Hold on, I'm gonna find out. I just read that
They gonna put
The
that shit.
joint about to start in a few minutes.
I'm making that shit up.
They gonna put that.
No,
They gonna
not.
put that shit in California.
I seen it. Tyree Nichols.
You said Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, you see it, Steph. Steph Colonel said Tony Hawk grifter. He looking for that little tax rebate.
He got a new video game coming out. Why?
Yeah, see? He ain't slick.
He gonna have a Tyree Nichols character in the new Tony Hawk skate.
Here it is. Tony Hawk to help fund skateboard park in honor of Tyree Nichols.
But like in all seriousness, note, if he does do that, and it's just clearly he's grifting.
My proceeds, as a matter of fact, go to his Twitter account. Go to his Twitter, Tyree. Go to Tony Hawk's Twitter.
What it say?
He's selling an 8x10 card, and it will go to the Tyree Nichols Memorial Fund, which includes plans to build a public skate park in his honor.
Is Tony Hawk from this place?
From Memphis? No. Tony Hawk from like Southern California or something.
Oh, I see it here. My proceeds from these will go to Tyree Nichols Memorial Fund. Yeah. Public skate park in his honor. Basically, what he's trying to say is niggas gotta be more white if they don't want to get beat up by the cops.
Happy was, right? He was a skateboarder.
Was he?
Was a skateboarder and a painter.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
Oh, because he was a skateboarder. Oh, so Tony Hawk looking out for the skateboard community.
Yeah, he was a skateboarder.
Oh.
Apparently, he was like decent, I guess.
Word.
Yeah, and he was like artist. Like he was. I mean, I hate to say it, he was one of the few black men not gunned down, but taken out by the police that actually was, a decent citizen, I guess you should say.
Oh, wow.
Like at least nothing came out yet about him. I guess by now, that shit would have came out already.
Yeah, he was selling packs on that skateboard.
He just didn't get caught.
That's what they gonna try and say.
Well, I seen on the news that that one officer did send a photo, take a picture of Tyree.
He did.
Yeah, but they said
that was hearsay.
5 individuals. Who was the 5 individuals?
Take a picture of him when?
He sent it to 5 people?
Yeah, he sent that picture to 5 people. That's why I said I seen on the news.
Took a picture of what? His dead body?
Of him after they whooped his ass.
He took a picture?
So like a couple of weeks ago, the rumor was that he took a picture and sent it to his chick because they were saying that Tyree was messing with his chick.
Wow.
That's why they converged on him. But it was nothing to substantiate that.
Yeah.
I mean, the ass whooping looked personal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now from what Unk's saying is that it's legit.
Yeah, I don't know who he sent it to. That's the only thing. But they said 5 individuals received it. So I don't know who the 5 people were. Is that whoop a nigga ass group chat and shit? I don't know.
But shit, shout out to Tony Hawk if he's doing that.
Yeah, that's love. Yeah, Tony Hawk taking care of the skate community is dope. Yeah, definitely. That's love.
But the state of Memphis ain't gonna put no fucking statue up of him. They ain't gonna put him next. Ain't nobody putting it next to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
It's still early, man. I mean, let's early on the grift, man. Wait till the trial, man. We gotta wait till the trial.
Oh God.
The trial is something crazy come out like he was sleeping with the guy's baby's mom. Oh my God, that'll be a scandal. That's when all the shit's gonna come out, man. We still got the trial to go. You know what I mean?
You know what all this is for? So they could bring in them goddamn robot police. They gonna say, see, we can't even trust black people to be police. So white men can't be police, black men can't be police. So we're gonna need Chat GPT to police you niggas.
GPT, they just gonna look at you as a fucking 1 or a 0. Remember in iRobot said he saved Will Smith because he had a 36% more chance of living than the little girl that Will Smith was trying to save.
Yeah. Wow.
Robot ain't so bad for you.
They already rolled them out in Cali. I want to say that they got the robot police.
I swear, every time I see them fucking them things, I keep thinking
dogs.
CGI. I keep thinking them dogs are CGI. I swear I do.
I wish they was. Real quick, super chats. Shout out to Def Jules, Big Boy super chat, 1999. Appreciate you. Jabari Judah said, Unc is from the streets of Beijing. Chuck Flea said, can't wait to see Unc working with his Arab friends in China. He will love China then. Jabari said, Soul Food Chess House. Yeah, that's it. That's the good spot. You go there while you wait for your food. You play some chess. Joe Biden, he said, I'm getting ready. I will break a leg. Shout out Joe Biden tuning in with the super chat. Jabari Judah, make sure y'all visit Papillion 25 in South Orange, New Jersey. Wonderful food. I ate there before. Wonderful, wonderful black woman soul food cooking. Oh, I enjoyed my plate. I licked the plate when I was done. That's Papillion 25 South Orange, New Jersey. Rudy the Vet Russo, he said, ain't no good seafood in New Jersey. Come to OBX in Carolina and I'll show you good seafood, and Kung Pao chicken is the best. Yeah, you probably ain't gonna get too much good seafood in Jersey. You right. Punks McGee, Biden releasing his new crime bill mixtape tonight. Oh shit. Inside of the Ages, he said, carbon credits is an attempt to make a currency out of the elements of life. If this is implemented, it will monetize the reduction of life. NEX said, Corn Pop doing it live. Steph Colonel said, Unc, just a black man from Wuhan, Pennsylvania. Look like they getting ready.
What feed you got?
I got the White House, the official one.
Okay.
The official one. You know what I'm saying? No hand-me-downs, no knockoffs, no stepped on. I want the broadcast straight from the people themselves. Straight from the white man himself. They got the hand gesture interpreter up there for all my people tuning in that's auditory impaired, or whatever the term is for that.
Here he comes.
Auditory impairment. Who?
I think he's coming down the aisle now.
He coming?
What? No kente cloth in the audience?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Boo.
Where's his son? Is his son there?
Which one? Bo?
He there in spirit.
Laptop boy. Is laptop boy there?
The laptop boy? You know they don't let Hunter out.
Come on, man. I want 100 in the White House in the comments. You know he gonna hit that after party.
Yo, Sheila Jackson Lee is the female Stephen from Steven from Django, bro. Oh, white savior. And I stand by what I said. Chuck Schumer like a Disney villain. Look at Hakeem Jeffries. He think he gonna run for president until they bring Wes Moore ass out of Maryland. It'll be disappointing.
All the people over here shaking his hand, trying to ingratiate themselves, improve their PR points.
What they really doing is trying to hold him up until you get to the podium.
Shout out to people tuning in for the Grift tonight. Grifties.com. Make sure y'all get in tune. Grifties just dropped. 2022 Grifties is out now. Just released that 2023 version. Grifties.com. Go vote for me. Nominate your favorite grifter. Make sure you go vote. You can vote for Cannon Hotep. Hotep with it. Hotep Jesus or Uncle Hotep. Make sure you go cast y'all ballots at grifties.com. We appreciate you. 407 in the room. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Shout out to our Rumblers. We got 68 over on Rumble tuning in. Jimmy Das over there on Rumble. Hyper 85. E-Rumble online. Carolina Frog GG. What up? What up? She said, what up, Hotel Nation? We got 71 watching on Hotep TV over on Rumble. I emailed the people over at Rumble and I told them to change our URL to Hotep TV. So we all streaming on Hotep TV on Rumble from now on, dual streaming. So Rumble's gonna get that good content too. Make sure y'all go subscribe.
Carolina Frog said over under Biden snorting cocaine to get through the speech.
Is that Cory Booker?
He's still in Congress?
Mm-hmm. You know they ain't got no term limits.
You know he got reelected. But then again, yeah, why not?
Ain't no competition, really.
Exactly.
It's hard to unseat. It's hard to unseat. I mean, I think he's Jersey. It's hard to unseat motherfuckers, yo. Like, once you have that name recognition on that ballot, you got to put a lot of money into your campaign to really unseat a senator. They're pretty much a lock.
I heard he was a disappointment as like the mayor, though.
Yeah, in North.
Yeah.
I think Zuckerberg sent $100 million into Newark public schools, and that shit disappeared, bro. $100 million went into Newark schools and just fucking disappeared.
Hey, Musk, come on, hook up the Hoteps. Look. Cannon Hotep for mayor of Baltimore City. Hotep Jesus mayor for whatever city you in New Jersey. Uncle Hotep, Mayor Exton, PA, whatever it is out there for y'all. Hotep Super PAC. Let's go.
We got Hoteps for Yay starting up too. There's a group starting up right now, Hoteps for Yay. Y'all could go follow them on Twitter right now. They're just getting started, Hoteps for Yay. Apparently we got some Hoteps out there that want to support Yay. Hotep Jesus is holding out for the highest bidder. If I don't get no takes, I might have to just run with Yay. Biden is taking the podium. Let's see how he slurs his way through this.
This is the first time we've seen Kamala Harris in 365 days.
She need a 10.
Kamala do got a strong neck, though.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor to present to you the President of the United States.
Yo, mute your feed.
Oh, my bad. I ain't know it's coming through the thing.
Mr. Speaker. Thank you. You can smile. It's okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Please. Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President, our First Lady and Second Gentleman, good to see you guys up there. Members of Congress.
Can you still hear it?
Nah, it's good now.
Okay.
By the way, Chief Justice, I may need a court order. She gets to go to the game tomorrow, next week. I have to stay home.
You better stick to the
work
script,
something out
Joe.
here. Members of the Cabinet, leaders of our military, Chief Justice, Associate Justice, and retired Justice of the Supreme Court, and to you, my fellow Americans. You know, I start tonight by congratulating the 118th Congress and the new Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
Little known fact, the reason why I got so many pages is because that shit is in like 26 font. It's 26-point font.
Speaker, I don't want to ruin your reputation, but I look forward to working with you. And I want to congratulate the new leader of the House Democrats, the first African-American minority leader in history, Hakeem Jeffries.
Everybody stand up and clap for the House, nigga.
He won in spite of the fact I campaigned for him. Congratulations to the longest-serving leader in the history of the United States Senate, Mitch McConnell. Where are you, Mitch?
Come on, everybody, be inclusive. Everybody stand up and clap.
And
Mitch can barely
congratulations to
stand up.
Chuck
Damn.
Schumer, another term as Senate Minority Leader. I think only this time you have a slightly bigger majority, Mr. Leader. You're the majority leader. About that much bigger? Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I want to give special recognition to someone who I think is going to be considered
Oh, shit.
the
He ain't gonna
greatest
make it.
speaker in the history of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi.
And her husband's boyfriend, David the Pat.
Folks, the story of America is a story of progress and resilience, of always moving forward, of never, ever giving up. It's a story unique among all nations. We're the only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it. Look, folks, that's what we're doing again. 2 years ago, the economy was reeling. I stand here tonight after we've created, with the help of many people in this room, 12 million new jobs. More jobs created in 2 years than any president's created in 4 years because of you all, because of the American people.
No, we're back at zero, Joe. We're back at zero.
2 years ago,
We're negative 12 million jobs. You got back to 12 million. We at zero, bro.
and 2 years ago,
That's one of them lies they always telling.
COVID had shut down, our businesses were closed, our schools were robbed of so much, and today, COVID no longer controls our lives. And 2 years ago, democracy faced its greatest threats in the Civil War, and today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken.
Democracy. What up, Trish?
They gonna make me break
As
out
we
the
gather
whiskey.
here tonight, we're writing the next chapter in the great American story, a story of progress and resilience. When world leaders ask me to define America, and they do, believe it or not, I say I can define it in one word, and I mean this: possibilities. We don't think anything is beyond our capacity. Everything is a possibility. You know, we're often told that Democrats and Republicans can't work together. But over the past 2 years, we've proved the cynics and naysayers wrong. Yes, we disagreed plenty. And yes, there were times when Democrats went alone. But time and again, Democrats and Republicans came together to defend a stronger and safer Europe. You came together to pass once in a generation infrastructure law, building bridges connecting our nation and our people. We came together to pass the most significant law ever, helping victims exposed to toxic burn pits. And in fact, it was important. And in fact, I signed over 300 bipartisan pieces of legislation since becoming president, from reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act, the Electoral Count Reform Act, the Respect for Marriage Act that protects the right to marry the person you love. And to my Republican friends, if we could work together the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well. I think folks, you all are as formed as I am,
doing,
but I think
Wade?
the people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting, power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere. That's always been my vision of our country, and I know it's many of yours. To restore the soul of this nation, to rebuild the backbone of America, America's middle class, and to unite the country. We've been sent here to finish the job, in my view. For decades, the middle class has been hollowed out in more than, and not no one administration, but for a long time. Too many good-paying manufacturing jobs move overseas. Factories closed down. Once thriving cities and towns that many of you represent became shadows of what they used to be. Along the way, something else we lost: pride, our sense of self-worth. I ran for president to fundamentally change things, to make sure our economy works for everyone, so we can all feel that pride in what we do. To build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Because when the middle class does well, the poor have a ladder up, and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well.
So I wonder why you got rid of that Keystone Pipeline, all them jobs. Not to mention the corporate tax that you raised. That I think Donnie T had around 15%. They went it back up to 30.
Jobs about a lot more.
That's
than
why all
a
them
paycheck.
jobs went overseas.
You really would say this. It's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, folks, so let's look at the results. We're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but unemployment rate is at 3.4%, a 50-year low. A near record unemployment. Near record unemployment for black and Hispanic workers. We've already created, your help, 800,000.
Somebody fact check that number. I don't believe that number.
The fastest growth in 40 years.
That's a bullshit stat, though. Unemployment's a bullshit stat.
Yeah.
Where is it written that America can't lead the world in manufacturing? And I don't know where that's written. For too many decades, we imported projects and exported jobs. Now, thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Folks, inflation has been a global problem because the pandemic disrupted our supply chains, and Putin's unfair and brutal war in Ukraine disrupted energy supplies as well as food supplies, blocking all that
Putin's price hike.
But we're better positioned than any country on earth right now. But we have more to do. But here at home, inflation is coming down. Here at home, gas prices are down $1.50 from their peak. Food inflation is coming down, not fast enough, but coming down. Inflation has fallen every month for the last 6 months, while take-home pay has gone up. Additionally, over the last 2 years, a record 10 million Americans applied to start new businesses. 10 million. And by the way, every time someone starts a small business is an act of hope. And Madam Vice President, I want to thank you for leading that effort to ensure that small businesses have access to capital and the historic laws we enacted that are going to just come into being. Standing here last year, I shared with you a story of American genius and possibilities. Semiconductors, small computer chips the size of a fingerprint that power everything, from cell phones to automobiles and so much more. These chips were invented in America. Let's get that straight. They were invented in America. We used to make 40% of the world's chips.
So why are we outsourcing them to China, Joe?
We're down to only producing 10%. We all saw what happened during the pandemic when chip factories shut down overseas. Today's automobiles need 3,000 chips, each of those automobiles. But American automobiles couldn't make enough cars because there weren't enough chips. Car prices went up, people got laid off. So did everything from refrigerators to cell phones. We can never let that happen again. That's why we came together to pass the Bipartisan Chips and Science Act.
There's a lot of gaslighting going on.
It's a whole lot of gaslighting going on. Joe, you're the reason. You're the reason why the factories went under. You're the sole reason we had to start outsourcing from other countries.
We're going to make sure the supply chain for America begins in America. The supply chain begins in America. We've already created.
Who that sound like? Who does that sound like, guys? Made in America, right? Who that sound like?
800,000 new manufacturing jobs without this law, before the law kicks in. With this new law, we're going to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs across the country. And I mean all across the country. throughout not just the coast, but through the middle of the country as well. That's going to come from companies that have announced more than $300 billion in investment in American manufacturing over the next few years. Outside of Columbus, Ohio, Intel is building semiconductor factories on 1,000 acres, literally a field of dreams. It's going to create 10,000 jobs, that one investment, 7,000 construction jobs, 3,000 jobs in those factories once they're finished. They call them factories. Jobs paying an average of $130,000 a year, and many do not require a college degree. Jobs. Because we work
So how they gonna stay
together, these
competitive? You
jobs
got to
where people
lower
don't have
that
to leave
corporate
home
tax
to
rate
search
back
for
down, Joe.
opportunity. And it's just getting started. Think about the new homes, the small businesses, the medium-sized businesses. So much more that's going to be needed to support those 3,000 permanent jobs and the factories that are going to be built. Talk to mayors and governors, Democrats and Republicans, and they'll tell you what this means for their communities. We're seeing these field of dreams transform to the heartland. But to maintain the strongest economy in the world, we need the best infrastructure in the world. And folks, as you all know,
Yo, he's full of it, yo. First off, 130 grand in Ohio.
we used to be #1 in the world in
On average, that's a New York City
We've sunk
wage.
to 13th in the world. The United States of America, 13th in the world in infrastructure, modern infrastructure. But now we're coming back because we came together and passed the bipartisan infrastructure law, the largest investment in infrastructure since President Eisenhower's interstate highway system. And folks, already we've funded over 20,000 projects, including major airports from Boston to Atlanta to Portland. Projects that are going to put thousands of people to work rebuilding our highways, our bridges, our railroads, our tunnels, ports, airports, clean water, high-speed internet, all across America. Urban, rural, tribal. And folks, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. And I mean it sincerely. I want to
This
thank
the funny
my
part, right?
Republican
So
friends who voted
Donnie
for the
T,
law.
that was one of his biggest things. He
My
wanted
Republican
infrastructure,
friends who voted
right?
against it
Biggest
as
thing he was
well.
running was infrastructure.
But I'm still,
They completely collapsed our infrastructure. They collapsed our economy, and then they come back and they roll out the very game plan that Donnie T had
And I'll
put
see
in
you at
place
the
in the first place,
groundbreaking.
taking full credit for it.
Look, this law will further unite all of America. Projects like Brent Spence Bridge in Kentucky over the Ohio River, built 60 years ago, badly needed repairs, one of the nation's most congested freight routes, carrying $2 billion worth of freight every single day across the Ohio River. And folks, I've been talking about fixing it for decades, but we're really finally going to get it done. I went there last month with Democrats and Republicans and from both states to deliver a commitment of $1.6 billion for this project. And while I was there, I met a young woman named Sarah, who's here tonight. I don't know where Sarah is. Is she up in the box? I don't know. Sarah, how are you? Well, Sarah, for 30 years, I learned, she told me she'd been a proud member of the Iron Workers Local 44, known as the Cowboys in the Sky. The folks who built Cincinnati's skyline. Sarah said she can't wait to be 10 stories above the Ohio River building that new bridge. God bless her. That's pride. And that's what we're also building. We're building back pride.
Drugs wearing off, boy.
We're also replacing poisonous lead pipes that go into 10 million homes in America. 400,000 school and child care centers. So every child in America can drink the water instead of having permanent damage to their brain. Look, we're making sure that every community in America has access to affordable high-speed internet. No parent should have to drive by McDonald's parking lot to help them do their homework online with their kids, which many thousands were doing across the country. And when we do these projects, and again, I get criticized for this, but I make no excuses for it. We're going to buy American. We're going to buy American. Folks, and it's
Again, who that
totally-
sound like, y'all? Who was saying
totally
that? Who
consistent
was saying
with
Yeah,
that?
he's still in
international
Trump's
trade rules.
talking points.
This whole, this is the second year in a row he stole Trump's talking points.
But for too long, past administrations, Democrat and Republican.
Joe, America first Biden, y'all. Y'all
around
seeing
it.
it right now. Joe,
Not
America first
anymore.
Biden.
Tonight, I'm announcing new
Matter of fact,
standards
they need to be
require
trending.
all construction materials used in federal infrastructure projects to be made in America. Made in America. I mean it.
Bro,
I don't know if he can keep that promise.
Lumber,
he can't keep that promise.
glass,
He can't.
drywall, fiber optic cable. And on my watch, American roads, bridges, and American highways are going to be made with American products as well. Folks, my economic plan is about investing in places and people that have been forgotten. So many of you listening to me tonight.
He can't do it
I know
unless
you
he,
feel
like
it.
I said, lower the corporate
So many
taxes.
of
He
you felt
gotta
like
he
you
gotta
just
give them
simply been
incentives.
forgotten.
Armstrong and
Maybe I've acted
Gypsum,
like a
they're
people
not
in the
gonna.
past 4
They like
decades.
they
Hold
already.
on.
too
Let
many
me hear him.
Have been left behind and treated like they're invisible. Maybe that's you watching from home. Remember the jobs that went away. You remember them, don't you? The folks at home remember them. You wonder whether the path even exists anymore for your children to get ahead without having to move away. Well, that's why I get that. That's why we're building an economy where no one's left behind. Jobs are coming back. Pride is coming back because choices we made in the last several years. You know, this is, in my view, a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America and make a real difference in your lives at home. For example, too many of you lay in bed at night like my dad did, staring at the ceiling, wondering what in God's name happens if your spouse gets cancer, or your child gets deadly ill, or something happens to you. What are you going to get money to pay for those medical bills? Or are you going to have to sell the house or try to get a second mortgage on it? I get it. I get it. With the Inflation Reduction Act that I signed into law, we're taking on powerful interests to bring healthcare costs down so you can sleep better at night with more security. You know, we pay more for prescription drugs than any nation in the world. Let me say it again. We pay more for prescription drugs than any major nation on earth. For example, 1 in 10 Americans has diabetes. Many of you in this chamber do, and in the audience. But every day, millions need insulin to control their diabetes so they can literally stay alive. Insulin's been around for over 100 years. The guy who invented it didn't even patent it because he wanted it to be available for everyone. It cost the drug companies roughly $10 a vial to make that insulin. Packaging and all, you may get up to $13. But Big Pharma has been unfairly charging people hundreds of dollars, $400 to $500 a month, making record profits. Not anymore. Not anymore.
He made that promise before.
Trump actually implemented the plan to reduce prescription costs, and he reversed that shit.
Many things that we did
He reversed it.
are only now coming to fruition. We said
They
we were
brought the
doing
price
this,
of
and we said
insulin
we
down.
passed the law to do it, but people didn't know because the law didn't take effect until January 1 of this year. We capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors on Medicare. People are just finding out. I'm sure you're getting the same calls I'm getting. Look, there are millions of other Americans
Trump had already did that, yo.
who do not or are not on Medicare.
This is all Trump's talking points.
200,000 young people with type 1 diabetes need this insulin to stay alive. Let's finish the job this time. Let's cap the cost of insulin for everybody at $35. Folks, the big pharma is still going to do very well, I promise you all. I promise you they're going to do very well. This law also caps and won't even go into effect until 2025. It costs out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors on Medicare at a maximum of $2,000 a year. You don't have to pay more than $2,000 a year, no matter how much your drug costs are. Because you know why? You all know it. Many of you, like many in my family, have cancer. You know the drugs can range from $10,000, $11,000, $14,000, $15,000 for the cancer drugs. And if drug prices rise faster than inflation, drug companies are going to have to pay Medicare back the difference. And we're finally giving Medicare the power to negotiate drug prices. Bringing down prescription drug costs doesn't just save seniors money, it cuts the federal deficit by billions of dollars, by hundreds of billions of dollars. Because these prescription drugs are drugs purchased by Medicare.
All them people out there know is bullshit.
The seniors. Well, guess what? Instead of paying $400 or $500 a month, you're paying $15. That's a lot of savings for the federal government. And by the way, why would we want that? Now, some members here are threatening, and I know it's not an official party position, so I'm going to exaggerate, but threatening to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act. As my coach, that's okay, that's fair. As my football coach used to say, lots of luck in your senior year. Make no mistake.
He played football.
If you try anything to raise the cost of prescription drugs, I will veto it. Look, I'm pleased to say that more Americans have health insurance now than ever in history. A record 16 million people are enrolled in the Affordable Care Act. And thanks to the law I signed last year, saving millions are saving $800 a year on their premiums. And by the way, that law was written and the benefit expires in 2025. So my plea to some of you, at least in this audience, let's finish the job and make these savings permanent. Expand coverage of Medicaid. Look, the Inflation Reduction Act is also the most significant investment ever in climate change. Ever. Lowering utility bills, creating American jobs.
That was some BS too. That Inflation Reduction Act.
I visited the devastating aftermath of record floods, droughts, storms, and wildfires from Arizona to Mexico to all the way up to the Canadian border. More timber has been burned, as I've observed from helicopters, than the entire state of Missouri. And we don't have global warming? Not a problem. In addition to emergency recovery, from Puerto Rico to Florida to Idaho, we're rebuilding for the long term. New electric grids that are able to weather major storms and not prevent those forest fires. Roads and water systems withstand the next big flood. Clean energy to cut pollution and create jobs in communities often left behind. We're going to build 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations installed across the country by tens of thousands of IBEW workers. And we're helping families save more than $1,000 a year with tax credits to purchase electric vehicles and efficient appliances, energy-efficient appliances. Historic conservation efforts to be responsible stewards of our land. Let's face reality. The climate crisis doesn't care if you're in a red or blue state. It's an existential threat. We have an obligation, not to ourselves, but to our children and grandchildren, to confront it. I'm proud of how America, at last, is stepping up to the challenge. We're still going to need oil and gas for a while. But guess what? No, we do. But there's so much more to do. We got to finish the job. And we pay for these investments in our future by finally making the wealthiest and biggest corporations begin to pay their fair share. Just begin.
Come on, man.
Look, I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist, but pay your fair share. I think a lot of you at home agree with me and many people that you know. The tax system is not fair. It is not fair. Look, the idea that in 2020, 55 of the largest corporations in America, the Fortune 500, made $40 billion in profits and paid zero in federal taxes? Zero? Folks, it's simply not fair. But now, because of the law I signed, billion-dollar companies have to pay a minimum of 15%.
But that's the laws you voted on.
Come on, man.
15%. That's less than a nurse pays. And let me be crystal clear. I said at the very beginning, under my plans, as long as I'm president, nobody
another
earning
bullshit
less than
stat, too.
$400,000 will pay an additional penny in taxes. Nobody, not one penny. But let's finish the job. There's more to do. We have to reward work, not just wealth. Pass my proposal for the billionaire minimum tax. You know, there's 1,000 billionaires in America. It's up from about 600 in the beginning of the term. But no billionaire should be paying a lower tax rate than a school teacher or firefighter. I mean it. Think about it. I mean, look. I know you aren't enthusiastic about that, but think about it. Think about it. Have you noticed Big Oil just reported its profits, record profits? Last year they made $200 billion in the midst of a global energy crisis. I think it's outrageous. Why? They invested too little of that profit to increase domestic production. And when I talk to a couple of them, they say, we're afraid you're going to shut down all the oil wells, all the oil refineries anyway, so why should we invest in them? I said, we're going to need oil for at least another decade. And that's going to exceed and beyond that. We're going to need it. Production. If they had, in fact, invested in the production to keep gas prices down, instead, they used the record profits to buy back their own stock, rewarding their CEOs and shareholders. Corporations ought to do the right thing. That's why I propose we quadruple the tax on corporate stock buybacks and encourage long-term investments. They'll still make considerable profit. Let's
And then we
finish
really
the
gonna be
job
relying
proposal
on
to allow very
OPEC.
wealthy to avoid paying their taxes.
Well,
Instead of
Saudi
cutting the
Arabia.
number of audits for wealthy taxpayers, I just signed a law to reduce the deficit by $114 billion by cracking down on wealthy tax cheats. That's being fiscally responsible. In the last 2 years, my administration has cut the deficit by more than $1.7 trillion, the largest deficit reduction in American history. Under the previous administration, the American deficit went up 4 years in a row because those record deficits, no
But then
president
signed
added more to the
an
national
ominous bill
debt
for $1.7
in
trillion.
any 4 years than my predecessor. Nearly 25% of the entire national debt that took over 200 years to accumulate was added by just one administration alone, the last one. They're the facts. Check it out. Check it out.
That's a lie.
How did
That's
Congress
a lie.
respond to that debt?
All day.
They did the right thing.
That's
They
a
lifted the
lie.
debt ceiling 3 times
You
without
know it.
preconditions or crisis. They paid American bills to prevent an economic disaster to the country. So tonight I'm asking the Congress to follow suit. Let's commit here tonight to the full faith and credit of the United States of America will never, ever be questioned. Some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plans. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office.
Social
I'll give you
Security
a
already
copy.
did.
I'll
I ain't
give
gonna
you a
see that shit
copy
when
of
I
the
retire.
proposal. That means Congress doesn't vote. Well, I'm glad to see you. And I tell you, I enjoy conversion. You know, it means
He's
if
about to get flustered. He about to get
Congress doesn't
flustered.
keep the programs the way they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant, but it's being proposed by individuals. I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you. Look, folks, the idea is
Somebody
that
called
we're
him a
not
liar.
going to be,
He's straight
we're
up
not
lying,
going
yo.
to be moved into being threatened to default on the debt if we don't respond. Folks, as we all apparently agree, Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be started. All right. I'm ready. We got unanimity. Social Security and Medicare are a lifeline for millions of seniors. Americans have to pay into them from the very first paycheck they started. So tonight, let's all agree, and we apparently are. Let's stand up for seniors.
Apparently that was Marjorie Taylor Greene that called him a liar.
Stand
Yeah,
up and
he
show
is. I
them.
mean,
We'll not cut Social Security. We will not
so
cut
yo, none of us are
Medicare.
going to see Social Security, bro. Nobody.
Those benefits belong to the American
It's
people.
done.
They earned it. And
It's
if anyone
over.
tries to cut Social Security,
Yeah,
which
we still
apparently
paying
no one's
into
gonna do, and if anyone tries to cut Medicare, I'll stop them. I'll veto it. And look, I'm not going to allow them to be taken away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But apparently it's not going to be a problem. Next month, when I offer my fiscal plan, I ask my Republican friends to lay down their plan as well. I really mean it. Let's sit down together and discuss our mutual plans together. Let's do that.
Anytime you say he really mean
I
it,
can
the
tell
true
you.
story is the exact opposite.
The plan I'm going to show you is going to cut the deficit by another $2 trillion. And it won't cut a single bit of Medicare or Social Security. In fact, we're going to extend the Medicare Trust Fund at least 2 decades, because that's going to be the next argument. How do we keep it solvent, right? Well, we'll not raise tax on anyone making under 400 grand, but we'll pay for it the way we talked about tonight, by making sure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share. Look. Here's the deal. They aren't just taking advantage of the tax code. They're taking advantage of you, the American consumer. Here's my message to all of you out there. I have your back. We're already preventing Americans from receiving surprise medical bills, stopping $1 billion surprise bills per month so far. We're protecting seniors' life savings by cracking down on nursing homes that commit fraud, endanger patient safety, prescribe drugs that are not needed. Millions of Americans can now save thousands of dollars because they can finally get a hearing aid over the counter without a prescription. Look, capitalism without competition is not capitalism. It's extortion. It's exploitation. Last year, I cracked down with the help of many of you on foreign shipping companies that were making you pay higher prices for every good coming into the country. I signed a bipartisan bill that cut shipping costs by 90%, helping American farmers, businessmen, and consumers. Let's finish the job. Pass the bipartisan legislation to strengthen antitrust enforcement and prevent big online platforms from giving their own products an unfair advantage. My administration has also taken
Nobody
on
know what
junk
they just
fees.
clapped for. Look at them.
Those hidden surcharges too many companies use to make you pay more. For example, we're making airlines show you the full ticket price up front, refund your money if your flight is canceled or delayed. We've reduced exorbitant bank overdrafts by saving consumers more than $1 billion a year. We're cutting credit card late fees by 75% from $30 to $8. Look, junk fees may not matter to the very wealthy, but they matter to most other folks in homes like the one I grew up in, like many of you did. They add up to hundreds of dollars a month. They make it harder for you to pay your bills or afford that family trip. I know how unfair it feels when a company overcharges you and gets away with it. Not anymore. We've written a bill to stop it all. It's called the Junk Fee Prevention Act. We're going to ban surprise resort fees that hotels charge on your bill. Those fees can cost you up to $90 a night at hotels that aren't even resorts. The idea that cable, internet, and cell phone companies can charge you $200 or more if you decide to switch to another provider. Give me a break. We can stop service fees on tickets to concerts and sporting events and make companies disclose all the fees up front. And we'll prohibit airlines from charging $50 round trip for a family just to be able to sit together. Baggage fees are bad enough. Airlines can't treat your child like a piece of baggage. Americans are tired of being. We're tired of being played for suckers. So pass the Junk Fee Prevention Act so companies stop ripping us off. For too long, workers have been getting stiffed, but not anymore. We're beginning to restore the dignity of work. For example, I should have known this, but I didn't until 2 years ago. 30 million workers have to sign non-compete agreements for the jobs they take. 30 million. So a cashier at a burger place can't walk across town and take the same job at another burger place and make a few bucks more. It just changed. But they just changed it because we exposed it. That was part of the deal, guys. Look it up. But not anymore. We're banning those agreements so companies have to compete for workers and pay them what they're worth.
The fuck is he talking about?
I have no clue, bro.
I
He
must
lost
tell
me.
you.
I don't know what the fuck he talking about.
Burger joints?
This is bound to get a response from my friends on my left but the right. I'm so sick and tired of companies.
He said
breaking
Burger
the
Jones
law
got a
by
no
preventing
complete
workers from
clause.
organizing. Pass the PRO Act. Because business have a right. Workers have a right to form a union. And let's guarantee all workers have a living wage. Let's make sure working parents can afford to raise a family with sick days, paid family medical leave, affordable child care. That's going to enable millions of more people to go and stay at work. And let's restore the full child tax credit, which gave tens of millions of parents some breathing room and cut child poverty in half to the lowest level in history. And by the way, when we do all these things, we increase productivity. We increase economic growth.
He
So
did
let's
that.
finish the job.
He gave people their
Give
child
more
tax
families
credit
access to
throughout the
affordable
year.
quality
End up
housing.
being
Let's get
counted as
seniors who
income,
want to stay
and they
in their
got charged for
homes
that
the care
shit
they
in their
need to do
taxes.
so. Let's give more breathing room to millions of family caregivers looking after their loved ones. Pass my plan so we get seniors and people with disabilities the home care and services they need. And support the workers who are doing God's work. These plans are fully paid for, and we can afford to do them. Restoring the dignity of work means making education an affordable ticket to the middle class. You know, when we made public education, 12 years of it, universal in the last century, we made the best educated, best paid, we became the best educated, best paid nation in the world. But the rest of the world's caught up. It's caught up. Jill, my wife, who teaches full time, has an expression. I hope I get it right, kid. Any nation that out-educates us is going to out-compete us. Any nation that out-educates is going to out-compete us. Folks, we all know 12 years of education is not enough to win the economic competition of the 21st century. We want to have the best educated workforce. Let's finish the job by providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. Studies show that children who go to preschool are nearly 50% more likely to finish high school and go on to earn a 2- or 4-year degree, no matter their background they came from. Let's give public school teachers a raise. We're making progress by reducing student debt, increasing Pell Grants for working and middle-class families. Let's finish the job and connect students to career opportunities starting in high school. Provide access to 2 years of community college, the best career training in America, in addition to being a pathway to a 4-year degree. Let's offer every American a path to a good career, whether they go to college or not. And folks, in the midst of the COVID crisis, when schools were closed and we were shutting down everything, let's recognize how far we came in the fight against the pandemic itself. While the virus is not gone, thanks to the resilience of the American people and the ingenuity of medicine, we've broken the COVID grip on us. COVID deaths are down by 90%. We've saved millions of lives and opened up our country. We opened our country back up, and soon we'll end the public health emergency. But that's called a public health emergency. But we'll remember the toll and pain that's never going to go away. More than 1 million Americans lost their lives to COVID. 1 million. Families grieving, children orphaned, empty chairs at the dining room table constantly reminding you that she used to sit there. Remembering them, we remain vigilant. We still need to monitor dozens of variants and support new vaccines and treatments. So Congress needs to fund these efforts and keep America safe. And as we emerge from this crisis stronger, we're also got to double down on prosecuting criminals who stole relief money meant to keep workers and small businesses afloat. Before I came to office, you remember, during that campaign, the big issue was about inspector generals who would protect taxpayers' dollars who were sidelined. They were fired. Many people said we don't need them. And fraud became rampant. Last year, I told you the watchdogs are back. Since then, we've recovered billions of taxpayers' dollars. Now let's triple the anti-fraud strike force going after these criminals, double the statute of limitations on these crimes, and crack down on identity fraud by criminal syndicates stealing billions of dollars from the American people. And the data shows that for every dollar we put into fighting fraud, the taxpayers get back at least 10 times as much. It matters. It matters. Look, COVID left its scars, like the spike in violent crime in 2020, the first year of the pandemic. We have an obligation to make sure all people are safe. Public safety depends on public trust, as all of us know. But too often that trust is violated. Joining us tonight are the parents of Tyree Nichols. Welcome.
Yo, shout out to Baby Blue. Baby Blue just got out of jail for getting locked up for those PPP loans. Here come the Tyree Nichols grift.
Yep, here it comes. There
Had
we
to
go.
bury Tyree last week. As many of you personally know, there's no words to describe the heartache or grief of losing a child. But imagine if you lost that child at the hands of the law. Imagine having to worry whether your son or daughter came home from walking down the street, or playing in the park, or just driving a car. Most of us in here have never had to have the talk that brown and black parents have had to have with their children. Bo, Hunter, Ashley, my children, I never had to have the talk with them. I never had to tell them if a police officer pulls you over, turn your interior lights on right away. Don't reach for your license. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Imagine having to worry like that every single time
Here
the
you
kid
go.
got in a car. Here's what Tyree's mother shared with me
Here you
when I
go.
spoke to her. When I asked her how she finds the courage to carry on and speak out. With the faith of God, she said her son was, quote, a beautiful soul, and something good will come of this. Imagine how much courage and character that takes. It's up to us, to all of us. We all want the same thing. Neighborhoods free of violence. Law enforcement who earns the community's trust. Just as every cop, when they pin on that badge in the morning, has a right to be able to go home
They
at
going
night.
to the China grift too. You see
So does
the
everybody
Asian
else
boy?
out there.
He the one that stopped the
Our
shooting in
children
California.
have a right to come home safely. Equal protection under the law is a covenant we have with each other in America. We know police officers put their lives on the line every single night and day. And we know we ask them in many cases to do too much to be counselors, social workers, psychologists, responding to drug overdoses, mental health crises, and so much more. In one sense, we ask much too much of them. I know most cops and their families are good, decent, honorable people, the vast majority. But they risk their lives every time they put that shield on.
Is that Bono?
What happened to Tyree in Memphis happens too often.
We have to do better. Give law enforcement the training
real
they need.
training they need.
Hold them to
Hold
higher
them to higher
standards
standards.
and help them succeed,
Help them succeed in keeping us
everyone
safe.
safe.
We also need more first responders and professionals to address the growing mental health, substance abuse challenges. More resources
To reduce violent crime and gun crime.
More
More community intervention programs. More investments in housing, education, and job training. All this can help prevent violence in the first
Help
place.
prevent violence in the first place. When police officers
Yo, why I got Joe Biden's script right now?
violate the
Yeah, I'm
public
just
trust,
asking. I'm like, what the fuck? I
they
thought y'all
must
had a
be
delay.
held accountable.
Yeah, I got a copy of the script right now.
Support,
How you do that?
with the
I said,
support
damn, when I'm like 3 seconds behind.
of the families of victims, civil rights groups, and law enforcement, I signed an executive order for all federal officers banning chokeholds, restricting no-knock warrants, and other key elements of the George Floyd Act. Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true. Something good must come from this. Something good.
All of us in this chamber, we need to rise in
all
this
of us.
moment.
I call that man Tyler.
He did.
All of us.
We can't turn away.
Folks, it's difficult, but it's simple. All of us in this chamber, we need to rise to this moment. We can't turn away. Let's do what we know in our hearts that we need to do. Let's come together to finish the job on police reform. Do something. Do something. That was the plea of parents who lost their children in Uvalde. I met with every one of them. Do something about gun violence. Thank God. Thank God we did.
Passing the most sweeping
gun safety law in 3 decades. That includes things like that the majority of responsible gun owners already support. Enhanced background checks for 18 to 21 years old. Red flag laws, keeping guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves and others.
But we know our work is not done.
Bullshit.
Joining us tonight is Brandon Say,
A 26-year-old
hero. Brandon put his college dreams on hold to be at his mom's side. His mom's side when she was dying from cancer.
Where you find this speech at?
I
You
got
found
it.
Chat GTP?
Brandon,
I done hacked the White House, y'all.
Why is Bono at the White House?
Brandon now works at the dance studio started
Let's
by
go,
his
Brandon.
grandparents. And 2 weeks ago,
Oh, man.
during the Lunar New Year celebrations, he heard the studio door close, and he saw a man standing there pointing a semi-automatic pistol at him.
That's not in
He
the
thought he was
script.
going to die, but he thought about the people inside. And in that instant, he found the courage to act and wrestled a semi-automatic pistol away from the gunman who had already killed 11 people in another dance studio.
He
11.
saved lives.
He saved lives. It's time we do the same.
Ban assault weapons
now.
once and for all.
Ban them now. Once and for all.
Jesus.
I led the fight to do that in 1994.
So let me get this straight. So the guy had a Mac 10, which is illegal in
That ban was
California.
law, mass shootings went down.
He still
That's
showed up with a
when
Mac
it expired
10,
and
which
the
tell you that your gun
administration.
laws don't work.
Mass shootings tripled. Let's finish the job.
That's a lie, too.
Ban these assault weapons. And let's also come together on immigration. Make it a bipartisan issue once again. We know we now have a record number of personnel working to secure the border, arresting 8,000 human smugglers, seizing over 23,000 pounds of fentanyl in just the last several months. We've launched a new border plan last month. Unlawful migration from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela has come down 97% as a consequence of that. But American border problems won't be fixed until Congress acts. If we don't pass my comprehensive immigration reform, at least pass my plan to provide the equipment and officers to secure the border.
Wait, so he's for securing the border now.
Yeah, after
Citizenship.
he told 11 million
For
people that they
dreamers.
can make it,
Those
they
on
citizens.
temporary status, farm workers, essential workers. Here in the people's house, it's our duty to protect all the people's rights and freedoms. Congress must restore the right and
Congress must restore the right the Supreme Court took away
Congress
last
must
year
restore the right
and codify Roe v. Wade.
that was taken away in Roe v. Wade and protect Roe v. Wade.
Protect every woman's constitutional right to choose.
Give every woman a constitutional right. The Vice President and I are doing everything to protect access to reproductive health care and safeguard patient safety. But already more than a dozen states are enforcing extreme abortion bans. Make no mistake about it. If Congress passes a national ban, I will veto it. But let's also pass. Let's also
We got
pass the
5 more pages
Bipartisan
of speech
Equality
left.
Act to ensure LGBT
I told you in like 26 point
Americans,
font.
especially transgender young people, can live with safety and dignity. Our strength is not just the example of our power, but the power of our example. Let's remember the world's watching.
Oh, here come Putin.
I spoke in this chamber 1 year ago, just days after Vladimir Putin unleashed his brutal attack against Ukraine. A murderous assault, evoking images of death and destruction Europe suffered in World War II. Putin's invasion has been a test for the ages, a test for America, a test for the world. Would we stand for the most basic of principles? Will we stand for sovereignty? Will we stand for the right of people to live free of tyranny? Will we stand for the defense of democracy? For such defense matters to us because it keeps peace and prevents open season on would-be aggressors and threatens our prosperity.
After that, he's going to talk about China.
1 year later, we know the answer. Yes, we would, and we did. We did. And together, we did what America always does at our best. We led. We united NATO. We built a global coalition. We stood against Putin's aggression. We stood with the Ukrainian people. Tonight, we're once again joined by Ukrainian's ambassador to the United States. She represents not just her nation, but the courage of her people. Our ambassador is here, united. We're united in our support of your country. Will you
you missed a whole sentence, Biden. It read, tonight we are once again joined by Ukraine's ambassador to the United States. She represents not just her nation, but the courage of her people. He stumbled right over
We're going to stand with you as long as it takes.
Our nation is working for more freedom, more
Is that
dignity.
Neil Young next? What is going on here?
Our
Fucking
nation is
star-studded
working
events
for more
is supposed to
freedom,
be.
more dignity, more peace.
Not just
in Europe, but everywhere. Before I came to office, the story was about how the People's Republic of China was increasing its power, and America was failing in the world.
That Hunter's laptop.
Not anymore. We made clear, and I made clear in my personal conversations, which have been many, with President Xi, that we seek competition, not conflict. But I will make no apologies that we're investing to make America stronger. Investing in American innovation and industries that will define the future that China intends to be dominating. Investing in our alliances and working with our allies to protect advanced technologies so they will not be used against us. Modernizing our military to safeguard stability and deter aggression. Today, we're in the strongest position in decades to compete with China or anyone else in the world. Anyone else in the world. And I'm committed.
We're going to talk about mental health after this.
I'm committed to work with China where we can advance American interests and benefit the world. But make no mistake about it. As we made clear last week, if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did.
What?
Look.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear. Winning the competition should unite all of us. We face serious challenges across the world. But in the past 2 years, democracies have become stronger, not weaker. Autocracies have grown weaker, not stronger. Name me a world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Name me one.
That's an ad lib.
America's rallying the world to meet those challenges, from climate to global health, to food insecurity, to terrorism, to territorial aggression. Allies are stepping up, spending more.
Somebody say you.
Look, the bridges we're forming between partners in the Pacific and those in the Atlantic, and those who bet against America are learning how wrong they are. It's never, ever been a good bet to bet against America. Never.
Three more pages.
Well,
You've been so full of this whole speech.
when I came to office, most assured that bipartisanship assumed was impossible.
But I
I
never,
never believed it. That's why a year ago I offered a unity agenda to the nation as I stood here.
We
We made real progress together. We passed the law making it easy for doctors to prescribe effective treatments for opioid addiction. We passed the gun safety law, making historic investments in mental health. We launched the ARPA-H drive for breakthrough in the fights against cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes, and so much more.
We passed the Health Robinson Pact
We
Act.
passed the Heath Robinson Pact Act, named after the late Iraq War veteran whose story about exposure to toxic burn kits I shared here last year.
There is so much more to do. And we can do it together.
I understand something about those burn pits, but there's so much more to do. We can do it together. Joining us tonight is a father named Doug from Newton, New Hampshire. He wrote Jill, my wife, a letter, and me as well, about his courageous daughter, Courtney. A contagious laugh, his sister's best friend, her sister's best friend. He shared the story all too familiar to millions of Americans and many of you in the audience. Courtney discovered pills in high school. It spiraled into addiction and eventually death from a fentanyl overdose.
She was 20 years old.
She was just 20 years old. Describing the last 8 years without her, Doug said, "There's no worse pain." Yet their family has turned pain to purpose, working to end the stigma and change laws. He told us he wants to start a journey toward American recovery. Doug, we're with you. Fentanyl is killing more than 70,000 Americans a year. Big, you got it.
Yeah, they going hard on him, God.
Get a little restless in there.
So let's launch a major surge to stop fentanyl production. and
Close the
sale and
borders, what they
trafficking,
said?
With more drug detection machines, inspection cargo, stop pills and powder at the border.
That sounds like more crime bill, Joe.
Working with couriers like FedEx to inspect more packages for drugs. Strong penalties to crack down on fentanyl trafficking. Second, let's do more on mental health, especially for our children. When millions of young people are struggling with bullying, violence, trauma, we owe them greater access to mental health care at their schools. We must finally hold social media companies accountable for experimenting they're doing running children for profit.
What?
It's time to pass bipartisan legislation to stop big tech from collecting personal data on our kids and teenagers online. Ban targeted advertising to children and impose stricter limits on the personal data that companies collect on all of us. Third, let's do more to keep this nation's one truly sacred obligation to equip those we send into harm's way and care for them and their families when they come home. Job training, job placement for veterans and their spouses as they come to return to civilian life. Helping veterans afford the rent, because no one should be homeless in America, especially someone who served the country.
And we cannot go on losing 17 veterans a day to the silent scourge of suicide. I got the script, y'all. I got the script.
Dennis McDonough is here of the VA. We had a first real discussion when I asked him to take the job.
You got an inside man, yo?
I'm glad he did.
I hacked the White House, bro.
We were losing up to 25 veterans a day on suicide. Now we're losing 17 a day to the silent scourge of suicide. 17 veterans a day are committing suicide. More than all the people being killed in the wars.
The VA is doing everything it can.
Folks, VA is doing everything it can, including expanding mental health screening, proven programs that recruits veterans to help other veterans understand what they're going through, get them the help they need. We got to do more. And fourth, last year, Jill and I reignited the cancer moonshot that I was able to start with President Obama asked me to lead our administration on this issue. Our goal is to cut the cancer death rates at least by 50% in the next 25 years.
The what?
Turn more cancers from
death
death
rate.
sentences to treatable diseases. Provide more support for patients and their families. It's personal to so many of us in this audience. Joining us.
You mean like with the Right to Try Act?
Candice, an Irishman and the daughter of immigrants from Panama. They met and fell in love in New York City and got married in the same chapel Jill and I got married in New York City.
Kindred
Spirits. He wrote us a letter about his little daughter, Ava, and I saw her just before I came over. She was just a year old when she was diagnosed with rare kidney disease, cancer.
26 blood transfusions.
26 blood transfusions.
11 rounds of radiation.
8 rounds of
8 rounds of chemo.
8 rounds of chemo.
One chemo. One kidney removed.
Giving a 5% survival rate. He wrote how in the darkest moments he thought, if she goes,
I can't
stay. Many of you have been through that as well. So
All
I
right.
understand
2 pages
that, like
left.
so many of you. And he read Jill's book describing our family's cancer journey and how we tried to steal moments of joy where we could with Bo. For them, that glimmer of joy was the half smile of their baby girl. It meant everything to them. They never gave up hope. Little Ava never gave up hope. She turns 4 next month. They just found out Ava's beating the odds, is on her way to being cured of cancer. And she's watching from the White House tonight if she's not asleep already. For the lives we can save.
She looked like she do not want to be touched, don't she?
For the lives we can save and the lives we've lost, let this be a truly American moment that rallies the country and the world together and proves that we can still do big things.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, under the leadership of President Bush and countless advocates and champions, he undertook a bipartisan effort through PEPFAR to transform the global fight against HIV/AIDS. It's been a huge success. He thought big. He thought large. He moved.
That's not in the script.
I believe we can do the same thing with cancer.
Let's end cancer as we know it.
Let's end cancer as we know it. Cure some cancers once and for all. Folks, there's one reason why we've been able to do all of these things.
Our democracy,
Our democracy itself. It's the most fundamental.
Hell, he
thing
already
of
gave
all.
y'all the jab with the
Democracy.
shit in it.
Everything's possible.
Without it, nothing is.
Nothing is. The last few years, our democracy has been threatened and attacked, put at risk, put to the test in this very room on January the 6th.
Oh, here we go.
And just a few months ago, an unhinged,
We going to Juneteenth?
big lie,
There we go.
assailant
Then he gonna
unleashed
mention Paul
political
Pelosi.
Violence, the home of the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, using the very same language the insurrectionists used as they stalked these halls and chanted on January 6th. Here tonight in this chamber
Here we
is a
go.
man who bears the scars of that brutal attack, but is as tough and as strong, as resilient as they get. My friend Paul Pelosi. Paul, stand up.
Oh, that's who that is?
I got the script. I got the script, y'all.
Hey, Paul, wear your hat so they can't, so they don't notice you don't have a scar, Paul.
I got the
Such a
script.
heinous act should
Wear your
have
hat
never
so they
happened.
don't notice that you don't have a scar
Let's all
on your
speak
head.
out. There's no place for political violence in America. We have to protect the right to vote, not suppress the fundamental right. Honor the results of our elections, not subvert the will of the people. We have to uphold the rule of law and restore trust in our institutions
All right,
and
last
democracy.
page.
And we must give hate and extremism in any form no safe harbor. Democracy must not be a partisan issue. It's an American issue. It's an American issue. Every generation of Americans has faced a moment where they have been called to protect our democracy, defend it,
If you
stand
speak
up
out
for
against
it.
your government, you will be
And this is our
you'll be
moment.
prosecuted to the full extent
My
of the
fellow
law.
Americans, we meet tonight at an inflection point, one of those moments that only a few generations ever face, where the direction
Decisions.
we now take is going to decide the course of this nation for decades to come. We're not bystanders of history. We're not powerless before the forces that confront us. It's within our power of we, the people. We're facing the test of our time. We have to be the nation we've always been at our best. Optimistic, hopeful, forward-looking. A nation that embraces light over dark, hope over fear, unity over division, stability over chaos. We have to see each other not as enemies, but as fellow Americans.
We are a
We're
good people.
people. The only nation in the world built on an idea. The only one.
What? The only nation built on an idea? What? Who wrote
Other
that?
nations,
Every nation is built on an idea.
defined by geography, ethnicity. But we're the only nation based on an idea
That's not in the script.
that all of us Every one of us is created equal in the image of God.
He gonna start singing
nation
Great
that
American
stands as
Melting
a
Pot
beacon
from
of the
Schoolhouse
world.
Rock now.
A nation in a new age of possibilities. So I've come to fulfill my constitutional obligation to report in the State of the Union. And here's my report. Because the soul of this nation is strong, because the backbone of this nation is strong, because the people of this nation are strong, the State of the Union is strong.
All right, last 3 lines right here, and he's done. As I stand here tonight, I have never been more optimistic about the future of America. We just have to remember who we are. We are the United States of America.
I'm not new to this place. I stand here tonight having served as long as about any one of you have ever served here. But I've never been more optimistic about our future, about the future of America. We just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
I got the script. Let me ask Unc, who you think leaked the script? Who you think on the right got a copy of the script?
Well, your fellow Navy intelligence asset that you went to Langley with in fucking class. He fucking got it. Who gave it to him? That's the bigger question. Who gave it to him?
No, who gave it to who?
Gave it to Jack? I don't know. Yeah, Kamala? You think Kamala gave it up?
Somebody gave it to Jack. Jack tweeted it out.
Oh shit.
Can you imagine that, y'all?
Oh man.
I got some notes here for tonight's speech. A lot of notes actually from tonight's speech I'm gonna run through. That was hilarious. All right, so first of all, we have to understand that these are not Biden's word. There is some group of people, and really their motive here is obviously gaslighting, but more specifically misdirection. So he mentioned America's middle class. Really what that is a dog whistle to the Illuminati that is who their target is. That's who they want to eliminate. Next point. I got 10 points here. He mentions the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is some bullshit because the unemployment rate is based upon people who actually get approved for unemployment. So if you don't get approved for unemployment, you're not included in the unemployment rate. So that's a bullshit ass stat. Manufacturing. He said manufacturing, he wants to bring that back from China. I'm going to come back to that point in just a moment. We're not going to mention his ties to China. We all know about that already. He blamed inflation on Putin. Okay. You might want to say something about maybe, the pipeline that was exploded over there in Europe and how Russia supplies natural gas and other resources to the rest of Europe, but that has nothing to do with us and our inflation issues here. He says a lot of, he talks about inflation and things coming down, right? Prices, et cetera, et cetera. Well, yeah, of course they're coming down. You done blew this shit all the way to fuck up to astronomical numbers. It's natural for it to come back down to where it's supposed to be. So he's taking credit for something coming back to homeostasis after he broke it. Then he mentions infrastructure. They're gonna invest in infrastructure, which really means repairs. Okay, the infrastructure. My cousin is a structural engineer. She told me, I don't even want to tell y'all what she told me because I just don't want to frighten y'all. But let's just say these roads ain't safe, So this is about really repairing poor infrastructure. And it's not like he's making it seem like it's an upgrade when it's really not that. You're actually bringing it up to code. He mentions American products. We're going to come back to that point as well. He says blue collar, right? And really that's a dog whistle. Again, This is who they want to target for election, the blue collar worker. He's trying to appeal to the blue collar worker. Then he talks about capping the cost of insulin. Anytime you start dealing with capping the cost of things, we're talking about socialist price controls, and we all know the calamities that come with price controls. Somebody mentioned it in the chat, and we appreciate you and your education. Now, when I talked about manufacturing in China, he mentioned American products, bringing those back home, American manufacturing as well, right? But he says the tax system's not fair, and he wants to make sure that big companies are paying taxes. Well, what happened when Clinton did the same thing? Everybody outsourced and sent their manufacturing overseas. So he's talking out of not him, but his people. The people that wrote this are talking out of two sides of his mouth. On one side, they're saying, hey, we want to bring manufacturing home, but then we want to tax the people that are actually going to put that manufacturing in place. Then he mentioned American deficit. The American deficit, he said he reduced it by 1.7 billion, I believe he said. That's nothing to brag about. The American deficit, basically what that means is the amount of money that we spent is more than the amount of money coming in. It's higher than revenue. So basically what he's saying is, okay, so we didn't blow as much cash as usual. But when you look at how much cash the American government blew just on Ukraine alone, and he says, oh, we reduced the deficit, what is he really saying? He's not saying anything. So again, huge nothing burger. Last 2 points here. He mentions resort fees. What? Resort fees? What are you talking about, bro?
Right.
And then he says he's a capitalist, but that's anti-capitalist. The resort fees, when I go stay at a spot and they got the resort fees, I don't like it, but I sure as hell ain't complaining about it. And the people who go and stay at these places, they got the money.
Facts.
They got the money to pay the resort fee. Nobody's complaining about resort fees. Poor folk ain't got the money for resort fees. They ain't got it.
They ain't got the money for eggs.
They ain't got the money for eggs. Then he says universal education. You know who else wanted universal education? Karl Marx. And I digress.
Drink every time Hotep Jesus mentions Karl Marx.
Oh, you're going to be drunk. You're going to be drunk. This is just classic Marxism all the way down the board. Attack the middle class. Price controls. Attack the middle class. Price controls. Centralization of credit within the hands of the state. Taxation. Price controls. Resort fees. Medicare. Medical aid. All of this is in the 10 planks of communism. Universal education for all. All these things are in the 10 planks of communism.
Listen, the most important thing tonight, you know what the most important thing was?
What?
The ginger knocking down a black woman. Come on.
What are you talking about?
Really, nigga?
You didn't see the red.
What red?
The dude, I said, she don't even look like she even want to be touched. The white boy with the black wife.
All that cultural Marxism shit, and you missed it. It flew right by you. You missed it.
Because I'm over here worried about the important shit. You over here worried about miscegenation. This nigga's pog hunting. We worried about the state of our nation. This nigga pog hunting.
And the state of it's over. It's over. It's a wrap, man. Like I don't know what to say. I'm black pilled. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's over. Over. It's over.
He was talking
right.
So because it's over, you just like fuck it. Let me grab as many white women as I can. Salvage the white women.
I'm going to Jonestown like fucking Jim Jones with all his white girls.
He want all the redhead white women he could get because it's over.
But I mean, I got a point though. I mean, like Medicaid, he kept talking about Social Security. Social Security's done. It's a wrap. Me, you, nobody in the chat getting Social Security when they retire. It used to be was it like 4 people paying on one person's pension back in the day or something like that.
No, yeah.
Now it's what? Like barely one person paying on one person's pay. Social Security's done, y'all. It's done. He's talking about bringing back, are we going to buy American? How you going to buy American, Joe? When you want your Green New Deal? When you raise the corporate tax rate up, it was like 30%. When Trump dropped it to 15 so we could be competitive around the world. Then you want to raise the taxes on anybody that make more than $400,000 a year, which is more than likely mom and pop shops that's going to have to shutter the doors.
Yeah, it's over, HJ. Y'all keep talking this communism shit. It's here. It's here. What are you talking about? He's forcing all the middle class out. There ain't gonna be it's gonna be all Walmarts and Targets. There ain't gonna be no shops.
He talking about let's stop the monopolies, but you about to destroy the mom and pop.
Yeah, it's over. It's a wrap.
It's not a wrap.
Bethlehem Steel?
It's not a wrap.
Yeah, all right.
It's still hope.
Now I still got hope for America, but the thing about it is that these shines out here ain't ready to fight that fight.
That's why.
Ready to fight that fight.
That's why what?
That's why it's over. The American people got no grit in them. You think they got the grit to bear down? Like, hey man, we gotta stop this.
You didn't hear Jethro and Earl the other day when they shot down the balloon? The spirit of America is alive and well. Earl and Jethro still got the spirit of America.
A goddamn weather balloon. These Jethro and them were like, yeah, hell yeah. Tommy China, take that. I was never more embarrassed in my life. Man, are you serious?
China was over here scoping out some new resort territory they about to go by. They already own Yellowstone. People don't know that.
You know how I know it's over? Now China's making rap videos talking about getting the foreigners out of
drill rap.
He said, "What?
Doing drill rap."
They're making Chinese. They're making rap videos
about
telling the foreigners to get the hell out of China.
Telling foreigners to get out of China?
Yes.
With rap music.
Yes.
Just so you niggas ain't just in case you didn't hear him clear enough.
I mean, they're rapping in their language, but this now, can Americans do that?
No. You're gonna be a Jantita.
It's over. How many times I gotta say it's over? Y'all selling hopes and dreams.
We just hacked the White House and got the Biden script. It ain't over. It's still hope.
Why they got what is Kamala talking about?
Nah, that's just me playing some old shit.
No. I'm looking at the this is 1 day ago.
Yeah, this is old.
Okay.
That's just up there just for props. Yeah, I'm white pill. We still got Chad on the inside. We got Patriot J. He holding us down in the court of law. We got the Hoteps. Hotep Con tickets coming soon. That's gonna be a meeting of the minds. Between the Hotep Con and the Grifties, America's in good shape.
Like you heard what he said. He was like, you speak up, you take action against your corrupt government, we will prosecute you to the full extent of the law.
Well, yeah, that's Jim Crow Joe.
Jim Crow Joe.
Mass incarceration Biden. You know that was coming.
Joe America First Biden now, guys. That's what he is. It's a walking contradiction. Everything he said contradicted the last thing he said. So the previous thing he said.
I just want to point out the fact that a lot of information was spread today, and the only thing Uncle Hotep took away from it was a white woman with red hair.
Oh, you got it backwards. It was a redhead ginger man with a black woman. It wasn't a redhead woman. It was redhead man. You missed the whole thing?
I was reading the script.
Because your inside intelligence agent, your fellow intelligence agent, your fellow asset got the script, and y'all all that's the insider talk, ladies and gentlemen. Chat, you see how it is? He not from the streets. He from Langley.
What? Why is this redhead man pertinent?
Because he got a black woman, man. He fighting a good fight.
Black History Month.
Hey, they said the Irish was what? The Irish was white niggas.
The first white niggas.
Yeah, the first white niggas.
So you applauding the white man for grabbing himself a sister?
Yeah, the white nigga with some smoked Irish. Ain't that what he said in Thaddeus Russell's book? A white nigga with some smoked Irish.
It's a mess.
Oh man.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the Republicans. They, usually they have the motherfuckers not sit down. I didn't hear enough riffraff. I heard a little bit. I ain't hear enough.
It was a good amount.
That's not enough, man. I need something like tell her to sit down. I need some static, man.
Well, they was telling MTG to calm down.
That wasn't enough, man. That wasn't enough. Our democracy's on the line.
What did you expect?
She walking around with a balloon and shit. I'm gonna carry a fucking balloon and shit.
She's getting a grift on.
Republicans should have held their own State of the Union.
It's not enough time. We don't got time for fucking grifting, man. It's time for action. That's why I say it's fucking over, motherfucker. It's time to fuck for action, motherfucker. What's the grift of the day? Are you serious? It's time for action. No, it's time for grifting. It's the year of the grift. Niggas is gonna grift themselves.
So
till they speak Mandarin.
People ain't ready to forego them good government benefits. They not ready to forego that.
But what? I'm trying to figure out what expected from the Republicans in Congress during the SOTU. What did you expect them to do? Juneteenth?
I would stand up, turn my back to them, do anything. Come on, man.
That's not professional. That's not
professional when Trump was in office.
No, he wasn't.
I rest my case.
How many times they tried to get Trump to not have his State of the Union?
They was heckling all through his shit. They was tearing Trump up. So you wanted the Republicans to give Biden the same treatment.
Jason Roche, throw a shoe. Give him the George Bush treatment.
Oh, George Bush Jr.
Stacey Adams up there. some red bottoms.
You want somebody to throw a shoe at Biden. You want another Juneteenth, another J6 hearings, more taxpayer dollars. Because you wanted violence.
That's not. I mean, come on, man. We're getting took to the cleaners here. We're getting virtually took to the cleaners. You talking about broadband internet? I'm like, come the hell on, man.
That's that symbolism bullshit. That's they like, all right, let's give them enough to make them happy, but not enough to make a different shit.
Give all your Wi-Fi.
Everybody get free BET. Free BET and TV One for everyone.
Take that shit the fuck out of here, man. We're done. It's a wrap, man.
Nobody, I guarantee the normies, like people that really don't really know anything, they sat there and clapped for all that shit.
Yeah, Pelosi tore his speech. Remember, Pelosi tore the speech out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind him, just throw this shit, get this shit out of here. MTG carrying around balloon. It's over, man.
MTG holding us down. At least she doing something. She was heckling. She called him a liar.
MTG just worried about giving them draws up, man. Like, come on. Worried about. Come on, man.
You can't disrespect one of our good representatives, our good congresswoman, man.
All right.
That's
funny. Listen.
That's why you're not on Fox, man.
See, that's right. I'm not Mr. Connection. I don't got no connections. I'm not from Langley. You know what I mean? I'm just a black man from Exton, Pennsylvania. And that's it, man. Like, I don't know what else to say.
He just a black. He just a black man from Wuhan. That's what you is.
Exton, Pennsylvania, real life, real middle America. You know what I mean? And I don't know what to say.
let's get into these super chats, man. We got our first super chat over there on Rumble. I'm gonna read that one first because we got rumblers rumbling over here. Fuego de Bacerero. He said, combat pay for sitting through this brutal. Thankfully, missed most of it. Oh man. All right, where we at? Super chats over here. What was the last one? It was on. Damn, a bunch came through. Okay, here we go. Catch the Cam said I'm doing a SOTU push-up challenge sponsored by Men of Order. Shout out to menoforder.com. All things men and masculinity on menoforder.com. Tell your son, tell your nephew, your brother, your uncle, get in tune. Reaction PR, he said sign lady is gonna have a hard time tonight. Brent Henney, we on the big screen in the trap right now. Hotep and Bill, let's go. Hold on, I'm gonna hit him with a Biden.
Come on, man.
They got the Hoteps on the big screen in the trap right now. That's love. Jabari Judy said Cory Booker had corn pop story before Biden. Lewis M said first time super chatter, long time listener. Hashtag Hotep 2024. What up, Lewis? Appreciate you, man. Welcome, busting your cherry here with us tonight. Reaction PR said, how many of those new jobs, quote unquote new, Biden and company keep blabbing about are second and third jobs people took just to make ends meet? Word.
Facts.
You gotta get a second job just to buy a carton of eggs. Dizzler, they got a false handkerchief on standby in case this speech goes off the rails. Ain't that the fact? Look out for it. Inside the ages, this disgrace is making me want to puke. Outcast, he said, this MFer said, we're not finished yet. F my life, I can't take no more. Outcast said, I wondered the sign language interpreter is slurring and stuttering her hands to go along with his speech. What did Deaf Hoteps at to confirm? Shout out to our Deaf Hoteps. We appreciate you. I don't know how they heard me, but maybe somebody tell them what we said. Reaction PR. So what's the state of the union? Good question. Jabari Judy said, I just got an alert from the IRS. They just changed the tax code for cash and credit card tipped employees, but casinos are excluded. Speaking of taxes, shout out to Trish. Appreciate you. Much love to Trish, our treasurer. Jabari Judy said the new restaurant and bar tax squeeze is called Service Industry Tip Compliance Agreement, Sitka program. Jabari, appreciate you, man. Dropping gems out here for y'all to research. JC Harris, $10 super chat. D. Silvera, he said, isn't inflation the biggest junk fee? Facts. D. Silvera with the biggest super chat of the night, $99. That's love right there. Keep the channel going. Steph Kearney said, HJ, you got to do 400 push-ups for this. Ain't that the truth? Opinionated junkie, Biden doesn't care about young Dolph, who was killed. Inside the ages, Joe Biden's crime bills, dear God, why no one sees. Yeah, he was talking crazy the whole speech about crime bills. Inside the ages, Hotep Jesus did the speech better. Appreciate you, man. Michelle S., nothing again for us, folks. Keep sending that tax money. Yo, for real, Michelle. Inside the ages, our balloons will be better than their balloons. I like that one. Oh, you gonna steal that one? Jonah Ryan, here is how to beat cancer. The exact opposite of what Joe is. Leave the petroleum in the car and take the petroleum out of the food. Good point. I like that. That's a bar. Catch the Can said he's up to 350 push-ups now. Steph Kerner said gaslighting was higher than a spy balloon. Word. Shooter 305, he said we had grit on Jan 6. 1 million showed up to the doorsteps of the government. Don't sleep on angry patriots. Unc 1776. Make sure y'all go listen to Uncle Hotep's Jan 6 rant over on the Hotep's Been Told You Clips channel. Shout out to Jason Rose holding us down over there on that. Jason Rose said, forgot Biden. Throw a shoe at him. The real question, Cannon. From one Ravens fans to another, is Lamar going to resign? Nah, he got a few more years left in him.
Shit, Lamar gone.
You think he gone?
Yeah, he ain't even traveled with the team the last game, yo. I think it's all bad over there. I think he might be. I don't think he playing next year. If he do, because they franchised him.
Chad Lemoyne says subsidies for friends will pay for these jobs. Yeah, it's always how it is. Been that way since the creation of America. Patriot Report, people. Yeah, go to hotepjesus.com. Get you a copy of the Patriot Report. Any final thoughts, fellas?
I mean, it was just more of the same. Last year, he stole a lot of the stuff that he's promising. He's stealing out of Trump's playbook. Period.
Yeah.
He'll never deliver on it because he back to business as usual. They're gonna keep promising you shit, right? What I say before, y'all giving up the booty on promises, and now this nigga ain't gonna return your phone calls.
Yo, it's wild that he basically took Trump's platform and spat it out tonight. Bring manufacturing back home. He was kind of even easy on oil. And then he was all about halting immigration at the border when he just told them niggas they could come over here last week. Crazy. Yep. And nobody gonna say nothing. Nobody on the left gonna say nothing. Not your auntie, not your uncle, nobody.
Not a word.
Wasn't the message, it was just the individual. I mean, it was just Trump that hated Trump. But more importantly,
right,
Ron, could this be the night? He's got 13, early second.
Who?
LeBron James.
This nigga got talking about spook ball.
News: LeBron James can possibly pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let's get bracket ball, basketball Americans. See, this is where you know HJ's not from the streets. The greatest game known to man, the greatest game the white man has ever invented. The greatest game the redacted white man has ever invented. I know that got your ears perked up.
Be careful. Be careful.
Basketball. He's got 14 points. He's coming for Kareem tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see what I got to deal with? We over here trying to be serious about the State of the Union. And this nigga got to be the Sean to bring up basketball.
You got this 80-year-old man stuttering, wobbling. You taking that serious? How can we take that serious? How can you take that serious? It's not to be taken serious. If you take that serious, you know America is done for. Even your boy, your handler, Chad, said it's been over. He said that in the chat. You can't take that serious. We're not a serious country anymore. We're just not. You can say anything you want. We're not a serious country. A serious country doesn't have Transformer reading hour.
Serious country don't got Transformer generals out here with skirts and high heels.
Not serious anymore, man. It's been that way. It's over. You can talk about Xi Jinping all you want, but this is not. We is not serious. There's nothing to say about us that we're serious. A balloon, a goddamn balloon had niggas shook. You see that balloon? You see that spear behind me? That's America. Oh, flying over America. Motherfuckers got shit. They shoot it down. They fucking drinking Budweiser and shit. Yee-hawing and shit. Take that commie China and shit. He got on fucking Jordans and everything, all Nike shit. Everything he got on made from China. But he said, take that commie China. Everything he got on made from China. You talk about we'll take this serious. This is nothing to be taken serious. Clip that.
This all comes back to the fact that NBA is in bed with China, and so is Uncle Hotep. That's what this comes down to. Xi Jinping then text this nigga Unc and said, yo, before you get off the stream tonight, make sure you promote LeBron breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for me, homie. That's what Xi Jinping then DM this nigga today. That's why he bringing up Bron, because this nigga's a CCP plant. trying to minimize the surveillance balloon that flew over our great country, trying to minimize the importance of the State of the Union, Uncle Chang, and his handler, Jing Jinping. Absolutely atrocious. Adrian Olivas, he said how much it costs to whack Sean lady, to whack Sean sign lady head. What? Jonah Ryan, the balloon was DOD's, not Chinese. See, somebody with some sense. I said that. I said that on our secret show on Patreon Monday. Last night I said that. I said, how we even know this thing came from China? Shit could be misinformation. Anyway, let me get into some announcements. Grifty's greatest award show. I know y'all was complaining about the Grammys. We gave y'all the award show. Grifties.com. Go watch it. HotepCon tickets on sale coming soon. Shout out to Leah working on sponsorships. Alex and Taylor working on marketing. HotepCon tickets coming out soon. Make sure you get the early bird prices. I don't want y'all telling me, Hotep, can I get the? Nope. We're going to leave them open for a couple of weeks. They dirt cheap to get out to Vegas and have the best food. Hang out with us. You're going to go to the range with Cannon Hotep. Going to take y'all out. Y'all going to shoot guns. They had a VIP section and everything last year. Had a good time. We're going to eat food. We got Project Rook coming. Confirmed. We got Sonny Johnson coming. Not confirmed yet, but I'm sure she'll be there. And Tanai Ricks confirmed. So we're going to have a political conversation, a health conversation, and a science conversation. A mental health conversation and a science conversation. Tanai Ricks going to break down the science behind the jab, the science behind the last 2 years, and we're going to really dissect that. We're going to have a special episode of Hotep's Been Told You live from the Ahern Hotel. Shout out to Brody. And then we got the HotepCon behind the scenes special documentary thingamajiggy, whatever you want to call it. That's coming soon. Subscribe. That'll be on youtube.com/HotepNation. And we are formed like Voltron, Uncle Hotep, Cannon Hotep, Hotep Jesus. We are all now live streaming on Rumble on the same channel, Hotep TV on Rumble. Shout out to all our Rumblers over there. We had almost 100 watching over there on Rumble tonight. We appreciate you. So make sure y'all subscribe on Rumble. If we disappear, we probably over there on Rumble. In case YouTube tries something funky like they did before, make sure y'all check us out on Rumble. Y'all got any announcements? Oh, Hotep's Been Told You every Thursday, 8 p.m. Me and Uncle B here. We're going to go over all the juicy, spicy topics of the week. 8 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button for y'all leave as well. What y'all got?
Nothing, just Cannon Hotep on YouTube, Cannon Hotep on Rumble. Also go over
It's
and
Hotep TV on Rumble.
Oh, that's right. I'm getting Hotep TV on Rumble, guys. Hotep TV on Rumble. Go to my new gaming page on YouTube called The Nerd Out. DANERDOUT. Check it out. We're going to do some gaming. We're going to talk comic books. We might start having a movie night. We're going to start talking, probably do a Last of Us recap every Monday to catch people up on or talk, from a fan's point of view with The Last of Us. And that's about it.
On Hotep Factor every Sunday night, 8:30. I will say, HJ, I'm going to put in my bio as seen on Tim Pool. As seen on Tim We need to do that. I'm going to put that in my bio. This is Uncle Hotep. I was on Timcast. What up? What up? What's good? 1/2 HBTY. What's good? You know what I mean?
That's grifty. That's grifty. Real quick, somebody in the chat This nigga say he gonna put Tim Cash in his bio.
Watch, I seen on Tim Cash.
Probably gonna get mad followers off of that. They gonna be asking your ass about Eliza Blue too. Yo, dates for Hotep Con, August 17th to the 20th. August 17th to the 20th. Bookmark it, book your flights. I'm gonna be there early. I'll probably fly in a day early and leave a day late. August 17th to the 20th this year. Y'all better be there. It's gonna be amazing. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Good shit.
I mean, take it easy.
You hear a lot of people say this, and I totally agree with it. They say fail fast, and it's so true. But it also ties into the procrastination conversation. What is procrastination? Procrastination is nothing more than the delay of the gifts that God is ready to present us with. And we're saying, no, we're not ready for those. How about tomorrow? Because when you're on your path, you're doing what you need to do, you tend to be in alignment, and the gifts come abundantly. So that's why sometimes we say, hey, fail fast, because if you started the project last Monday, you would have found out that the piece that is missing takes a week to come in the mail, and now your whole project's been pushed back a week, you can't even start. But if you started on Monday, you knew, oh, I'm missing this piece, so it'll be here next Monday, and now you can begin working on your project. Fail fast ties into procrastination very quickly. Also, you have a lot of people that are afraid to fail. They're afraid to make mistakes. But you have to make mistakes. You have to fail. That's the only way you learn. That's the only way you gain experience. So I want people to fail. I want people to mess up. Don't be afraid of messing up. A lot of people want perfection straight out the gate. You know, you start a podcast or a show, and the first one, they want it to be perfect straight out the gate. That's not possible. Just go. Done is better than perfect. Fail fast.
Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money, talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm gone. I've been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million